So now that we got those expansions and upgrades, we're going to start making our way to the Various suit. And I think, okay, like I said, I think it's very clever with how they did this. So you have this opening and closing enemy in this room. You can actually make it so you can lure him up in this little corridor here. It's very complicated because he has to be at the right place in the room before he does this. I don't think it's RNG, but it still happens. It'll happen eventually. If you're not confident, you can always leave the room and re-enter it to kind of reset the RNG. But you basically want that to happen, where he gets stuck in the above area. Unfortunately, he's not quite there yet, so let's let the blocks respawn. And we'll wait for the ice to melt so we can keep trying to get up into the top room, which I think he did. Let's see. Oh, no, he's still here. Okay, well, let's let the blocks respawn yet again. And maybe this will push him out. Perfect, okay. So now that we've done that, if we actually freeze him at the right place, we can make it into that door up there, which you'd normally need the high jump boots for. So you can get this upgrade a lot earlier than you're supposed to. Again, it's a clever use of the ice beam mechanic. And just kind of using your weapons to your advantage to get stuff early, which is really, really nice. I feel like you also are intended to get the ice beam after you get the high jump boots as well. But again, I could use that phase through the block strategy to actually get it early as well. So it's kind of neat because I feel like that's kind of what prompted sequence breaking in Metroid games in the first place. Because you have a game like Super Metroid where you're almost encouraged to use a bunch of like really different and unique techniques to get upgrades early and get items earlier than you're supposed to. That's why I really like the wall jump in Metroid or Super Metroid. Because the wall jump really isn't that hard to use in that game. You just kind of have to learn how to do it, and once you do, you can start seeing ways for you to use it and actually get stuff early, which is really, really cool. So yeah, I'm going to basically show you how to get back to the room we were in before, and then we'll probably cut back to the blue shaft room. But yeah, the Various suit, as you can see, it gave Samus a different color of her suit. I believe it in general increases her defenses against certain enemies and attacks. And I think it allows you to jump out of acid and lava easier. Maybe even gives you like reduced damage in acid as well. That's definitely what it does in Super Metroid. But anyway, I'll see you back in the blue shaft. Okay, here we are. Back in the blue shaft. We're going to go back down. Going to start heading towards the beginning of the game. I'm not going to go all the way back to the beginning, but we're going to pass through one specific area where we can get another E-Tank. Probably one of my more favorite E-Tanks to get, just in terms of execution, because we're going to be using another advanced strategy, I guess you could say. And I feel like this is like a very easily hidden E-Tank as well. Like, I don't think you'd know about this unless you just, like, experimented shooting every single block. But yeah, as you can see, we have this E-Tank. I can't quite reach it, though. However, if I lure this enemy over here and bring him over here, I can use his vertical movement to actually get him where I need him to be. Not quite there, though. Not quite there. Okay, I need to wait for him to get down a little bit. That should do it. That should definitely do it. So yeah, kind of clever how you go about getting that E-Tank, honestly. I do like that. I think you could do that a lot easier if you have the high jump. But I don't think you can jump from the very bottom to the top of the screen with high jump. I think you do need to still use the ice beam. But still, if you're clever, you can definitely get it earlier than you think you probably could. But now if we go down here, we will find the elevator to the first hideout, Kraid's hideout. The first boss of Metroid. And here we have that classic Brinstar Depths music. Which I actually heard this music, Actually, did they have this music in Super Metroid? They probably did, and I'm just, like, forgetting about it. But, the first time I really recognized this music was in, Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Brinstar Depths stage. Anyway, so in Kraid's lair, and this is the thing I really hate about the hideout, specifically Kraid's hideout, and I guess it's through many other areas in the game too, but there are so many rooms, and so many of the rooms look so frickin' similar. Like, you'll see that in just these, like, 4 rooms right here. Because they seem almost like they're exact replicas. There are a few differences. Like, some will lead you to power-ups and enhancements, but others won't. But, again, this is just, like, again, the really old, archaic design of these older NES games, and, I don't know, I feel like this actually does hurt this game a little bit, that it is like this. I mean, I can try to live with it and deal with it, and I am, because I'm obviously playing this game now, but I don't know, it just... Something about this just really rubs me the wrong way. I mean, they could have at least made some rooms look a little different, opposed to just having these, like, mirrored image rooms, but, I don't know. I wasn't in the mindset of a developer back in the day. In fact, I wasn't even born yet when this game was made, so... I definitely am not the right person to come to when it comes to video game developing advice, especially back in the 1980s. Also, I think I took the wrong turn. Yeah, I definitely did, because, yeah, there's no way I can get out here. There's probably, like, another tunnel up here. Yeah, okay, there we go. And yeah, just things like that, too. It's just, like, a really weird design. It's like, how are you supposed to know that's there? I mean, I guess you're supposed to realize that because you entered from that level, but still... Still, it's... I don't know, it's kind of weird. I'll try not to complain about the archaic design too much. I know you guys just want to see me actually play through this and stop complaining, but... You know, I feel like when playing these old games and being like a, you know, kind of a 90s and early 2000s gamer, going back to old games, like, obviously you're going to compare them to some of the games you're more inclined to play and games you grew up with. That's just the way it is. When you see something similar to something else you've interacted with, comparisons are bound to be made. Like I said, I don't think this game's a bad game at all. It's a fine game. It started the Metroid series, after all. People obviously were fond of this game. It led to sequels getting made, and people really love those sequels too, so... You know, they were doing something right. So there we go, got a missile. I'm gonna go ahead and pause really quick and look at where I'm going next. Because, yeah, my god, just even looking at this player's guide is just, like, insane, because there's just, like, so much I could do and so much I can go to. But there's really only, like... Really, and looking at this map right now, and I'll try to include a map in the video description for all the videos, in case you're someone who's playing this with me and following along. But, yeah, there's just so many rooms that look similar, and, like... I'm going to estimate about 70% of the rooms in this hideout you don't even enter, really. There's some rooms that are literally just dead ends. And there's like no reason to even think about going into them. But that's just the way it is. And oh my god, me getting hit by this stupid door transition again. Ugh, hate that so much. But if we want to start making our way through this, we could definitely go this way. You could just go straight down from that initial shaft and go straight to Kraid for the most part. But I'm going to be going through a route that takes us through all of the upgrades and stuff, so that's why I'm going in this fashion as opposed to going straight down. I don't even know why I'm bothering with these guys. Sometimes it's honestly better in Metroid, and this rendition of Metroid, to just, like, freeze the enemies and run away from them. Especially these guys that come out of the pipes, because if you kill them, one will immediately spawn right after you kill it. And another one won't spawn until the other one's dead, or even just the pickup they leave is dead. So it's like, why even bother? Also, fake acid. Good old fake acid. There's lots of fake acid in this game. So yeah, let's just freeze these enemies and get away from them. I don't even know if there's another energy tank or not. Which is not good if there isn't one, because I have to do some restocking before I fight Kraid somehow. Okay, well there's a missile pack. Another one anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to start trying to avoid these enemies as opposed to fighting them. And sometimes it's hard because the shoot button's a little sensitive, where sometimes you press the button twice, but if you do that, you might freeze the enemy and then unfreeze it, so then you didn't really get rid of the problem. I find that actually happens a lot. Okay, so I think we want to go up here next. Thank you. Good old missile tank. So is there a way I can get up here? Maybe I want to go this way. Because now I think I'm making my way back to the initial shaft of Kraid's lair. So I think this is the room where the elevator, you can first access the elevator. Now we can use our ice beam to actually climb these guys. Actually, maybe you do need the ice beam to get through here, because I don't see how you could actually make it up. Unless you can fall on the right side and get to this door. Because, yeah, you have to go to this door up here on the right in order to progress. Yeah, I don't see how you could actually do this without the ice beam. I don't know. Again, there's probably someone out there who knows all the facts and who can probably beat this game with no upgrades at all, but as I've already stated, that person is not going to be me. Because look at me, I'm just getting destroyed by these enemies and acid at the same time. Oh my god. I'm sorry you keep flashing, Samus. I'm trying to do whatever I can to keep you safe, but it's becoming a challenge for me. I just want out of this room, please. Okay, there we go. So I will have stories about this room right here, but I'm going to tell them as I'm coming out of Kraid's lair, because that's when it's actually going to become more relevant. But yes, I have a lot to say about this room right here. But first, though, I think we have another upgrade we're going to get. And, like, sometimes the guys, the rapidly spawning guys, like, sometimes they don't spawn at all. And, like, there's no drop or anything, so it's like, okay, they're not even spawning. And then sometimes they'll just magically spawn again, so I don't get what determines that. It's really, really weird. Oh, okay, look, they're back. It's like they weren't even gone. And, oh, they hit me through the room again. So when we get down here, this is actually the room before Kraid, so I'm probably going to be using this room as a energy and missile restock room. I have a long way to go because I have to refill 4 energy tanks. I don't know if I'll even restore them all, just maybe like 3 or 3.5 or something. So hold on. Actually, you know what? Oh, okay, this is a better restock room. Oh yeah, this is a lot better because I can just shoot them straight forward. And then if they ever stop respawning, I can just leave through the right and come back in. But first, let's open this. Okay. Well, I'll restock here. Hold on. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give Kraid a try here. So here's Kraid. He's vulnerable only when he doesn't have stuff blocking him. So what you want to do is you want him to kind of fire his stuff and then unload him with missiles. Not the most reliable strategy because you have to be really, really close to him, but I don't know. Kraid is honestly the toughest boss in this game, in my opinion. And once you're out of missiles, just try to get close and lay a bunch of bombs because those will rapidly hit him. And there we go. First boss of Metroid has been defeated, and we gain 75 missiles. But that is not all. There is actually another collectible, but before I do that, let me grind up a little more health. Okay, not that much more, but I might be able to do this. Anyway, there's actually an E-Tank in this room, and this is a ridiculously hard E-Tank to get. Like, seriously, I don't know what they were thinking when they designed this, but I don't know, you need to get back up to the same ledge as the door, and it's really hard because you just can't jump out of this acid. And, like, I still don't quite understand, like, what you have to do and what button combinations you have to press. But you're literally just fighting the controls and hoping they work so you can do this next thing. And, oh, damn it, I messed up. Because, again, you want to be on the same ledge as the door. You don't want to be on that other block. Because if you do it from the door, you're not going to have the right altitude to land in that little hole. You need a little more room to work with. And there we go. Okay, good. So now we just have to get out of here, and then we can get out of Brinstar, or get out of Kraid's lair anyway. But yeah, that was the first boss. And yeah, you don't get like any item upgrades or anything. You just get that E-Tank and those 75 missiles, which I guess if you want to look at it in a different way, you got like 15 missile tanks from Kraid for beating him. And I think you get the same number from the second boss once we get to that point. But yeah, we are ready to leave Brinstar, and because of that, we're now approaching the one roadblock I had for actually beating this game, and that is this stupid room right here. Like, and I know it's stupid because you could easily die, but I was so determined to get through this room that I didn't want to die. I wanted to go through the entire game without dying. That's just because how stubborn I was. And for just some reason, I couldn't get through this damn room. And it's just ridiculous because you have to, like, you have to time this perfectly. Where you shoot the blocks above you, jump so you land on the respawning blocks, shoot more blocks above you, jump again so you land on more respawning blocks, and you just do this over and over again to get through this room. I hated this room so much that I, like, rage quit twice trying to beat this game because of this. And I easily could have died. I could have easily just died, started at the beginning of the Kraid hideout, and been fine. But I was so determined to get through this room. Like, I did not want to give up. I wanted to get through this. Because there is no threat. The enemies here, whatever, they're not going to kill you unless you're just being stupid. But just getting through this stupid vertical passageway with these stupid blocks, I just hated this so much. So yeah, 2 playthroughs where I was determined to get through this game got ended because of this room. I'm thankfully not doing too bad. You just really gotta find the right timing. Sometimes if you let the blocks spawn over you, you'll get stuck in the blocks, but you won't get knocked back. But again, sometimes the problem is you just get knocked back by the blocks, and there's not really a whole lot you can do about that. So you just kind of have to pick your battles here, I guess, which I'm about done. Come on, come on. Okay, almost there. Just got one little section here to get through, and then I'm done. And, kind of weird to say this, but I feel like once I do this, this is like... the rest of the game's gonna be a breeze now. Just because of this damn room. Again, I know it's weird. I should have really just died, but, like, I just did not want to die in this game. I really didn't. Especially to a stupid room like that. Like, it's like, come on, people can do this. Obviously, they've had to do this before. Why can't I do this now? That's kind of just my way of thinking, I guess.